I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Oh, am I live right now? Yeah. Oh, sorry for the internet. Okay. Number one, I've been doing some weird stuff online while I've been in DC, trying to figure out these laws and things like that, and why I'm associated with, certain things. I might have put a weird spell on myself on accident. I tried to watch a documentary on magic and occult practices today, and then I posted something as my new background, and I got this book where the cover has many empty pages in it. I know nobody's watching or anything like that yet. I'm having some weird issues. Like, I didn't get any of my tattoos. In jail or prison. I really didn't. I don't know why this is associated with a gang tattoo. Like, I really don't. Not only that, I know my battery's charging low, so I'm trying to get this out there. I've been looking up some weird stuff recently while I've been in the nation's capital. I've also been posting some weird stuff online, and I know it's not getting that much attention. I know the truth is out there. I know that, this is why nobody likes the Book of Matthew. It shouldn't be obeyed. But, it's ridiculous that it says in there that disrespectful for a man to have long hair. Well, it's disrespectful to think of a man as, having long hair and wearing a warrior color and thinking just because he was in the Navy, he was associated with being a fag or a faggot. Sometimes I feel possessed by a book. The only time that my mom told me to take, she didn't tell me to take it literally. My mom was always reading true crime. And I never wanted to read true crime. I read one true crime novel along the lines with a book called Necropolis. And I started having trouble taking that fictional book and that real book together as literal for a while. I mean, I know one was a work of fiction, but there are books out there about, several hectometers. I mean, anyhow, I know that I've been, like I said, I've been in the nation's DC capital, like saying some weird stuff. I know I never read A Child Named It, but I know that part of my PTSD is known as being an information systems technician. While I served on the USS LaSalle, I had a top secret clearance. I kept my top secret clearance when I got out of the Navy. I know that I'm in the nation's capital. I know I'm saying these things. A lot of people don't believe that I was, what do you call it? I don't know. I feel like I said, I moved out to the West Coast. I had some weird experiences, and then some things happened, and I moved to the nation's capital. I've been looking up weird stuff online, like trying to figure out weird laws about how some of my life is misconstrued. I mean, if you look up, I try to be as funny as I can, but I started committing misdemeanors that turned into a felony while I was out West Coast. Because I missed the minors that much. Anyways, I still think I should be president, okay, for comedy at least. And anything like that should be going on. Oh, okay, so I showed my tattoos. I've been in jail a few times for just shoplifting when I'm starving and I'm thirsty because I don't get VA combat. I don't get VA money because I didn't. Because sometimes I feel the small time that I've done, the one felony that I got, and I knew I gave up my gun rights before I even moved out west, because lots of people take Winchester's mansion and try gun way too literally. That's why I gave up my gun rights before I moved to the West Coast. Now, a little bit of time that I've done, The one gun that I did miss was my dad's Smith and Wesson. The only reason I'm saying that is because Smith and Wesson isn't related to the Winchester Museum. And once again, necropolis. And what I'm saying, and what I'm spilling the beans about how I used to have a top secret clearance. Well, I kept it. I had my combat rights up to 5 minutes. I mean, not 5 minutes. God bless it. I had my combat rights up to 5 years after I got out of the military. And I didn't even know that. And I lost my veterans benefits, my combat benefits. Luckily, I had it the last year. I had it when I got my VA card. A lot of people think I faked my past. I'm trying to call friends I served with to get them to help me with this. I'm not trying to say I see myself in everything I do or love. Like, I know that I'm seriously tied to him. And I'm trying to reel that in here. And I know that I'm not getting everything together correctly. I know that what wood sounds like when trees, well, let's leave wood out of this. When trees grow, they sound like grinding teeth. They don't go vroom. They never went like that. There's a lot of things that are wrong with the world, and I'm trying to make them right. If anybody should be president, it's this Nelson Mandela. Because I feel like a lot of the tattoos I got when I moved out west didn't get necessarily possessed, but things are going on that I'm associated with that are kind of freaking me out. And I think I should not be held accountable for anybody's past deaths or current deaths, or I'm not always obsessed with cartoons, but there's got to be a way to and not only that, I have also associated myself on Facebook with certain things. I used to own a book called Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology that I bought while I was in the Navy, that was published in 1957. Not only that, in that book, it talks about how in Africa, there's a group of Muslims the men have to stay covered, and they have to still bear the sign of the cross. Not only that, I also know that the dollar bill, the George Washington dollar bill, has 3 eyes on every dollar. Another time, here's the thing, not too long ago when I was out west, I did, it took me 3 years to get back to this place, and I called the Lost Coast, and I burned $1. And I swear I heard this voice say, I've been summoned by many a red man. What do you need of me? And I don't really know. Like, I know this is not a game. Like, I posted something today on the back of my background of a sigil that I have of this other thing I was watching about witchcraft today. And I just posted it today with the cover of my book. That I have a book that I haven't written. Oh, right back to the book I read about serial killers. There's one time I took my mom's true crime club seriously. I read a true crime novel. Someone once told me that they believed that they were an inanimate object already. And I'm not talking about myself here. I swear to God about this. I had met this guy at a Safeway in Oregon not too long ago. And it was the same book that I tried to understand back then with a fictional book that I first read called Necropolis. When I take my head off like it is now, am I always behind everyone, whipping them into shape with fear? No matter what color you are? I guess I'll have to flail myself alive, realize that my bones are burned charcoal already, and that I'm always on fire. What did you do now? So I read this entire book about guilty serial killers. I don't know why Ted Bundy impressed me. 12-year-olds are never our property to do what we need or will. I'm not an illegal alien, but there's one whose generation hasn't been in America long enough to be president. And he wants to kick out other illegal aliens because he thinks this is some mafioso bro-ho-ho shit. What do you think of me and my God and my higher power in my house now? I'm pro-choice as fuck. That motherfucker raped an illegal immigrant woman in Bohemian Grove in California. All lives matter. I'm not trying to single myself down to one thing or one being, or how maybe I feel like there's also something else that says if God exists, let him have Medicare. We're not all one in this. I mean, I'm shaking. Not because I'm scared, not because I'm sick, but because of this. Most toxic, polluted city in the world. We can't get our rights back when we live on the streets. We can't get our rights back because of things that got misconstrued. We can't get our rights back and our lives back. Like, I'm not trying to say we're gonna all have one death if we don't get our rights back. You know? I'm sick. The whole universe is sick at this point. I mean, juncture in time. I know that I only get Social Security disability. I should get more from being a combat veteran and having my combat veteran rights taken away. I know I'm not transgendered. I'm not trying to say who's under assault here. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, no concern for the psychic vampire? And not only that, where's that come from? You know? I'm not trying to be a psychic vampire. I'm not trying to feed off anybody's thoughts, especially carnal knowledge forever. I should be held accountable for people's diseases and deaths. I have only truly, I know I was in the Navy. I'm not responsible for, this is another thing that hurts me. And I hold it dear to my heart. Like, I kind of wonder why I can't be president. I've only truly trusted Ayurvedic medicine. You know, there's a type of, in Africa, in the Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology that's real. I'm not saying that, okay, there was and I bought it in the Navy. Before all this other weird stuff that's going on that I'm starting. I'm not trying to start. I don't care what I think in my own general direction while I watch this. You know, I mean, there's a book out there that used to be banned called Death Trap, and each and every individual is a death trap. Because Death Trap is a book on how not to break into houses. I can't say that my own DNA has started a war against my own DNA. The only thing why sometimes I feel awful is that, and I say it sometimes when I'm walking around, is that the only way that there could be, I can't be at war with my own DNA just because I want to get my DNA tested to prove my ethnicities. Like, I'm so weird here. I mean, Nelson Mandela just had his 100th birthday, but he's not with us at the moment. And to say someone's IQ or age is something that's just added up together, is a super huge insult because that's not true. I'm not, I'm not bipolar. I have PTSD. I have general anxiety disorder. And I shouldn't be paranoid when I hear someone insult me in my mind, or when I hear it outside of my mind. When I hear something outside of my mind, and it's a voice that I recognize, yet each person's self, not only is their DNA unique to in and of themselves, so is their resonant brain frequencies. Now I know that one time once my mother took a card while she was getting gas, right? And then they had these credit card things that would scan cards. And then one night I was like, look, I swear I felt like I made an Apex program that would help refund our credit. And I only an hour, like everyone's. I know my mother's pension gets less a month than mine. And then I get my Medicare right away. And then, look, I voted for Obama the first election. And the second election, I was upset I wouldn't vote for him. Because I thought universal health care would have to be paid for. Well, I mean, I wasn't with him on that universal health care. At first, I wasn't with him with that. That universal health care would be paid for. I mean, my mother doesn't even make enough a year for her to get inspected for why she should have to pay for her insurance. But anyhow, Obama almost, and I just heard shut up slut for some reason. That's weird. I wouldn't do this to myself. Okay? I'm not trying to, oh God, I don't know why I'm pacing here. It's like, I haven't even seen the Aquaman movie yet. I mean, not the Aquaman movie. I haven't even seen Justice League yet. I don't know why I'm bringing that into this. Or Ant-Man, or some of the weird, why did we start this? Doesn't this just mean I love you in American Sign Language? Yes. And sometimes I feel like that I'm Zeus, because I put that adult porn on there recently, and then I had that one question on there about 17 senses, and I posted it, and then I deleted it. And then someone covers their mouth while someone pulls up to order something while they're deaf, and then they get harassed because they wouldn't move it past. I don't know what I'm screaming here. I'm not. One day I was walking through Berkeley, and it logically dawned on me why we're supposed to have concern for the psychic vampire. And I shouldn't say, or even be like do some weird. Used to tell me I had a light phobia in the Navy. Someone wanted to ask me something while I was doing some time. And also I've looked up stuff on the internet about not psychic vampires, but actual vampires with the military. And how they have this weird aura that's red and spiky or something like that. Doesn't mean I'm a whore. The red light doesn't mean I'm a whore. Then I'm always open to rape and murder and all that. I mean, no Satanist is. It's a very clear book. I'm not talking about the one that I'm writing or building in my head. And that book that I read about this is how this kind became a true crime story. Is that book that I read that was all serial killers, and I was like, I had a fucked up thought about Ted Bundy, and then someone asked me if they could sell their soul as an inanimate object, or they looked right at me and they said that they wanted to sell their soul as an. I sat down next to them. They told me that they believed that they were an inanimate object already. And I don't understand how inanimate and animated would get confused. So this guy tells me that I'm in so much pain. It's like part of Mother Nature is gnawing at me inside of myself or something. And Atlas shrugged, huh? Like this burden can't be just mine alone. With the toxic rain in DC, how it seems like when I get stressed, things get worse. The weather, okay, back to this guy who said that he believes he was an inanimate object already. I had a thing called a life straw that I lost not too long ago in CCTV over there by McDonald's. I think I recorded something about that with somebody. And I was like standing over and saying, this is me fucking my baby in public. Like it's not an actual baby. I don't know, where am I dealing with that? Oh, right. So this guy tells me he believes he's an inanimate object. He says he wants to sell his soul to me for my life straw. My life straw is a thing that you can buy at Walmart. And I said no. And then I gave him the book.